Hello, hello, and welcome to Art Snack. Art Snack is that time of day when we take just a short break from our hectic schedule to talk about art. Let's start. Hello, hello, and welcome to Art Snack. Art Snack is that time of day when we take just a short break from our hectic schedules to talk about art. My name is Jennylynd James, and I'm an artist who enjoys painting life's experiences in acrylic on canvas and just making life come alive. I'm also the creator of a new course entitled Succeeding as a Fine Artist, Guidance, Tips, and Strategies. Check out the link in the description box for this exciting art business course. If you want to make a living selling your art, check out my course. Now, Art Snack is in its second year, and we're really excited to bring you the finest of the artists in the Caribbean diaspora. With me today, all the way from Suriname, is Rachel Nijman. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Jenny. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us today on Art Snack.
It's my pleasure.
Okay. And Rachel, so tell us how you got started as an artist. I'm anxious to hear your story.
So I started around, I think, 4 or 5 years old. So I saw my mother drawing or sketching or writing something in her notebook. And of course, at 5 years old, you're very curious. So
Yes.
of course, I went into her notebook, and that's when I saw the pattern she actually made in the notebook, and also the illustrations. And I think that's when the artist in me got triggered, and that's
Okay.
why I was so intrigued by what I saw in her notebook. And that's where actually I think my artist journey started. So
So you studied art in school?
I also studied art, but that was at a later age. I
Okay.
was self-taught. So
Yes.
from the age of 5 until 19 years old, I was self-taught.
Yes.
And after secondary school, I had something like, what do I want to do? And I already knew I wanted to be free and do what I actually wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And then I took a year off from
Yes.
school, and I give it a thought. And one of my friends or someone I met told me about a school, an academy of art in Suriname. And I thought, you know what, I wanted to study art, so why not? And that was where my journey took another level.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. And so what medium you learn about in school, and what interests you had really in the formal training that you received in art?
So before I studied art, I actually, I was self-taught. So I did mostly did drawings or made drawings and illustrations, just figuring out what forms and patterns actually are and how you can combine them. But at school, I learned much more about color, how to mix, and how to actually bring things in the right perspective, or how to draw them in the right perspective. And of course, you learn art history and everything art. And but because I already knew how to, I think I knew a few things. I wanted to be challenged a lot more as well. So then I didn't finish school. I went there for 2 years, and then I wanted to do something more or get more out of myself. I knew I could do more, so I stopped. and then I went back to what I did best, and that was teach myself how to do things. So I did that, and for a year I did my research again, went
Yes.
to see if there were other things that could bring me to a much higher level in creating art. And then after a year, it was time for me to have my first solo exhibition, and that was in, I think, August 2018. On the
Excellent.
18th, yes, on the 18th of August 2018, I had my first solo exhibition,
Yes.
and it was amazing. I didn't really expect that, but I sold paintings, and
Excellent.
the public who came, the people who came, it was just,
They enjoy the show immensely.
yes,
And you
unexpected
sold
and
paintings,
amazing. And I
which is
sold,
good.
yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
So that, yeah,
So now we are going to look at a few samples of your work.
yes.
Please tell me this first painting, what is it about?
So this painting is actually, I think, acrylic or mixed media on canvas.
Mixed
It's
media.
a three-way painting, so the buyer can hang it how he or she wants to hang it, or you can just put it like this in the picture. But if you look at it closely, you can see that it's a pregnant woman. And I usually, if you see other works of mine or other art pieces of mine, you will see that I use the breasts or parts of a woman's body often. And the reason why I do that is because most of my paintings, or the theme I use in my paintings, are life, that I believe that those two are the same, and of course growth. Being a woman, you can give life in many ways, not only giving life through birth, but also helping others to grow, and yourself, of course. So
Yes.
being able to give life, and the life itself will also help and contribute to spreading more love, life, and that is what most of my paintings are about: spreading
Okay.
great energy, positivity, and working on yourself to become a better you.
Yes. Now you mentioned that the painting could be hung in different directions. So I am going to just do one rotation so the viewers can see. And look at it there. So it's a pregnant woman, figuratively
Yes.
speaking.
So the thing is, if you hang it in different ways, right? So
Yes.
eventually it's your painting. So you can do with it whatever you want to do with it.
Yes.
So it can become abstract. So what I do is the message and the energy. But I think even when you take it out of this proportion,
Yes.
or how it is right now in the picture, the energy I put into it will still
Yes.
be the same. So it will always be positive.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now we'll look at another image.
So this is one of the paintings I created recently, and it's a bit more surrealistic.
Yes.
And I'm actually working on a few new characters. Um,
Oh,
and what you see in here is a papaya,
yes.
and the papaya is actually a metaphor for the vagina
Yes.
of a woman, and it's again about life, death, and growth.
Okay.
So it is the same theme. I use myself. It's an how do you say it again? Self-image, I think.
Self-portrait.
Yes, self-poetry and
Okay. Yes.
portrait. Sorry. And then you have the birds. I also use birds in my paintings
Yes.
because I see them as what you are actually striving to be, or your goal in life, or your goal for yourself. And
Okay.
because birds, you can't really reach them or just catch them, you have to go after them. And you shouldn't even go after them. You can look at them in the sky, and just um how do you say this again, yeah, enjoy them enjoy the sight and know that everything will, yeah, be all right if you keep going and keep driving.
Yes, yes. So this is another impression of birth, really.
Of birth, yes,
Yes,
of birth, of growth, of everything um positive. So it doesn't matter if life is hard at the moment, so things change. It's
yes,
all about change and just having the mindset of, you know what, this will be over as well. So that's why I say life and death are the same, right? Because when you can be happy if nothing goes wrong, and so you can, and when something goes wrong, you look forward to be happy again. So
yes.
it's just a cycle of
A
life.
cycle of life.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, tell us about this now. This is photography.
Yeah, so I also do some photography, but it's actually more for myself. I do some research because I do love working with, as you can see, the human body.
Yeah.
And I did this photography or this photo shoot with a few amazing models. And I wanted to see what I could get out of that with of course different races, and I definitely love different body colors of the skin,
Mhm.
and I wanted to see what I could create from that. And this is just yeah, it's a project I'm still working on. I actually did this photo shoot, I think now 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm still
Okay.
working on something to create something amazing out of it.
All right. Now, what about this one? This is a big painting.
Yes, so this is actually I think 160 by 3 meters, and it
Okay.
was a painting I did at a fair from the organized by the PAHO. It was an event by PAHO. Healthy life was the theme,
Yes.
and it's about nature, health, and I combine these two themes together. So in the first part, you see nature.
Yes.
I choose to paint this actually the Surinamese nature because yeah, to actually send out the message that we need nature and nature doesn't really need us. So nature can provide for itself. And if we as a people or as people um, give more and are more grateful and take care of ourselves and what's around us, our surroundings, then everything as well is a cycle. So you get more out of that. So if you treat yourself bad and treat your surroundings bad, you will get negative energy.
Yes, exactly.
But if you give out or send out positive energy, that's what you're
Yes.
gonna get, and even more. So it's just good karma or bad karma.
Oh,
And middle, you see the puzzle, right? That was actually a fun thing to do. So I left that open. I did sketch the puzzles, but then the people who came over, they could help me complete the puzzle. So everybody could pick out a color and paint
oh,
it.
I see. So we
Yes.
had participants contribute to this painting.
Yes, indeed. And in the middle, you see someone sitting there, but that is actually it represents someone who's calm and someone who is in balance. And in these the puzzles, you have I let the people write positive quotes, and these positive quotes contribute to balance in your life. And
Okay.
then next to it, you have an underwater scene,
Ah,
and water is growth and it's calm, and when you're in water you hear nothing, it's just calm. So it's all life's balances
right.
together, how
Okay.
to balance yourself. So it's mental health, wealth, and everything combined to make a healthy person or to create a healthy person.
Right, right. Excellent.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned earlier to me that you were involved in some activities. community activities. So tell the viewers a bit about your work in the community.
Yes, so besides being in my studio and creating art on canvas or being outside and painting those large murals, I also organize art workshops. And those with the art workshops, I actually bring people or take people to other places to experience art in a different way. So then at the art workshop, so this particular art workshop was actually in a garden, and
Okay.
it was outside. I had a picnic set up and there was live music.
Oh, live
And
music.
yes, so then you don't only have to focus on creating art, but the thing is you're getting fed or you get inspired by your surroundings. So what
Yes.
you see, your senses are being triggered, right? So you feel, you hear, you see, you taste,
Oh,
because
you
there was
have
also
food and
live
drink as
cooking.
well.
Yes, yes. So there was food and drink as well. And then out of that, everything you feed yourself, you create.
Okay. And how
So
long, how many hours did the workshop run?
most of the workshops or the events are, I think, 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
Yes.
And what images are people painting? Is it structured or they paint freely?
So it depends. At some of the more serious workshops I host, then it depends. So when I'm inside, maybe that's a specific basic art workshop, then I have themes. Or there are other workshops where I focus on more mental health, and then so there was also this one workshop when I was an artist in residence, and that's where I blindfolded everyone,
Oh,
and then they had to um yeah, they had to just let go of
yes.
their thoughts and being perfect and just create with their hands.
Oh, blindfolded.
Yes, so I also challenge people, and at events like this in the garden or outside or at a restaurant, that's where I let them do whatever they want to do, paint
Oh,
whatever they want to paint, and just express themselves. So the thing is more about expression. So there's no
expression.
pressure. Yeah.
Right, right. Excellent. This one now with children.
So one of my favorite things are the favorite places or place of me to be is in nature.
Yes,
And this was actually I was in the jungle in the
mhm.
interior in
Yes.
Suriname, but we couldn't come back to town because yeah, it rained. It was I think it was during the rainy season,
Okay.
and the bridge broke. So
Oh,
we had to stay in one of the villages, and the people there were so nice to us, so we could stay there. But I think a few years ago, I had some like, you know what? Let me just take my paint and some canvas with me. And that was a thing I always did when going into nature. So I also did that. So while being there, it was a bit boring, I guess. And then I thought, hey, you know what? There are kids. Let's do something with them. I have paint. So I took out my paint material, my painting material, and this is what we did. So I
oh,
did a whole painting session with the kids, and I enjoyed their energy, and they enjoyed it as well.
yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
Right. So this was an indoor event.
Yes, so this was also a project. I think this was a voluntary project, but I created a painting with kids
Mhm.
as well. So I painted, or the art piece, the canvas what was put there, and then I started with a painting. The kids joined me to complete it, and after that I did some more edits to create
Okay.
the piece. Yeah.
And where is this big piece now?
I don't really know where it is, but I think it's somewhere where other people can see it and still are able to ask questions what it means and where it was created, but where people can yeah, look at it and enjoy seeing it.
Okay, look at this. This is quite a large piece, a mural, or it's movable.
It's a mural, a large mural. You can't move it. You can only paint over it again.
Oh,
But this is a mural at the university in Suriname,
oh, yes.
but in the cafeteria.
Excellent.
Yes,
Ah,
and it has a whole story about starting your journey and actually graduating in not only from the university but also in exceeding and being successful in everything you
in life.
do. Yes, in life. Yes.
Oh, wonderful theme and great bright colors. So I'm sure the students would be quite attracted to this mural.
Yes.
And how did you get the opportunity to create the mural at the university?
So I think how I think I created this 3 years ago, so that I don't even know, but I do know. I think it was um via by a friend of mine, and her
Yes.
husband has the cafeteria, if I'm right. So she told him about me, and then he was like, you know what, I think he also saw what a few of my works. So he was
Yes,
like,
you
you know
passed
what, I
through.
want her to, yeah, I want her to paint this for me. So that was how I got the opportunity to do
Excellent.
this mural. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, I believe we have one last mural. Please tell us about this one.
Yes, so this mural, before I created this mural, I actually no, I before I created this mural, I already painted a few murals, but they
Okay.
weren't as big as this mural. So
As
this
this
was
one.
the first large mural I painted.
Oh,
Yes.
and where is it located?
This is also in Paramaribo, in town, at
Yes.
dress code. One of my friends, he so before he created this, I already had something in mind to do something with love and, of course, encouragement. And I wanted people to see it, others to see it, so I could also inspire them. But I didn't have the a wall to paint it on.
Okay.
So when he started a project, or he wanted to paint a painting on the wall, he had someone else. But then I think it didn't go as planned. So I
Yes.
was like, you know what, this is my opportunity. Let me ask him. And then I asked him, you know what, I have this in mind. I told him about my project, and he was like, okay, just create a design and let us see what happens. So then I created her. I created a design, I illustrated her, I sent it to him, and he was like, yes, we're gonna do this. And then he provided the painting material, and
Yes.
that's when I painted her. And now she's there, I think
Beautiful.
2 or 3 years already, and
Yes.
there have been so many videos shot there at the wall,
Oh,
and
excellent.
photos taken. And yeah, it's beautiful to see how much
Yes,
you
many people
inspired
are
others.
enjoying.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing your work with us. Now, tell viewers how they can see more of your artwork.
So if you want to see more of my artwork, you can follow me on Instagram at Rachel Nijman. That's RachelNijman, Rachel Nijman.
Yes.
And you can also visit my website, that is rachelneyman.com, and also visit my art account on Facebook, and that is Rachel Nijman. So everything is Rachel Nijman.
Excellent. So I'm going to put your social media handles here on the screen. Viewers can also see some of my artwork at jennylyndjames.com/art. and on Facebook and Instagram at Art by Jennylynd James. That's Art by Jennylynd James. You can also check out my new course, Succeeding as a Fine Artist, Guidance, Tips, and Strategies. If you want to make a living selling your art, check out my new art business course on Udemy, and the link is in the description box. That's all we have time for today. So thank you again, Rachel.
Thank you so much for having me.
And goodbye, everyone.